Hi everyone, it's Miss Olivero here, and I am in your assembly today to talk about an exciting opportunity if you are 11 all the way to 14 years old, if you like creative writing, and if you are passionate about ancient myths. So the competition has to do with Hercules and creative writing. So I've called it the Hercules competition, and you're going to have to be creative, and the prizes are going to be book tokens. Okay, it's an external organisation awarding the prizes, so it's not going to be me. But I thought it would be a fun idea for you guys to enter if you want to, and let me know if you do. Okay, remember the competition is aimed at 11 to 14-year-old students. So who can enter the competition? I just said anyone aged 11 to 14 who fancies creative writing and likes ancient Greek/Roman mythology. Okay. Do I have to have done Latin in my life to enter the competition? The answer is no, anyone can enter, although if you are doing Latin, have done Latin, did Latin, you will be more familiar with the myth of Hercules. Who is the judge of the competition? Okay, the competition is organised by this association called Athena's Owls. Okay, it's a classical organisation, so they will be the judges. You will submit your entry to them, and they will judge it. There will be prizes of book tokens for winners and runners-up in each category. And I will share the link to enter the competition below the assembly, so don't worry about that. What do I need to know before I start the myth of Hercules and his labours? Okay, so it will be helpful to know that. In order to do so, we will now together watch a video which is quite fun. It's made by TED Educational Videos, and the labours of Hercules are explained in the format of an 8-bit video game.
Hercules, son of Zeus and champion of humankind, gazed in horror as he realized he had just committed the most unspeakable crime imaginable. The goddess Hera, who hated Hercules for being born of her husband's adultery, had stricken him with a temporary curse of madness, and his own family were the casualties. Consumed by grief, Hercules sought out the oracle of Delphi, who told him the path to atonement laid with his cousin, King Eurystheus of Tiryns, a favorite of Hera's. Eurystheus hoped to humiliate Hercules with 10 impossible tasks that pitted him against invincible monsters and unfathomable forces. Instead, the king set the stage for an epic series of adventures that would come to be known as the Labours of Hercules. The first labour was to slay the Nemean lion who kidnapped women and devoured warriors. Its golden fur was impervious to arrows, but Hercules cornered the lion in its dark cave, stunned it with a club and strangled it with his bare hands. He found no tool sharp enough to skin the beast until the goddess Athena suggested using one of its own claws. Hercules returned to Tiryns wearing the lion's hide, frightening King Eurystheus so much that he hid in a wine jar. From then on, Hercules was ordered to present his trophies at a safe distance. The second target was the Lernaean Hydra, a giant serpent with many heads. Hercules fought fiercely, but every time he cut one head off, 2 more grew in its place. The battle was hopeless until his nephew, Iolaus, thought to cauterize the necks with fire, keeping the heads from regrowing. The dead serpent's remains became the Hydra constellation. Instead of slaying a beast, Hercules next had to catch one alive. The Cyrenian hind was a female deer so fast it could outrun an arrow. Hercules tracked it for a year, finally trapping it in the northern land of Hyperborea. The animal turned out to be sacred to Artemis, goddess of the hunt, and Hercules swore to return it. When Eurystheus saw the hind, he demanded to keep it instead, but as soon as Hercules let go, the animal ran to its mistress. Thus, Hercules completed his task without breaking his promise. The fourth mission was to capture the Erymanthian boar, which had ravaged many fields. Advised by the wise centaur Charon, Hercules trapped it by chasing it into thick snow. For the fifth task, there were no animals, just their leftovers. The stables where King Augeas kept his hundreds of divine cattle had not been maintained in ages. Hercules promised to clean them in one day if he could keep 1/10 of their livestock. Augeas expected the hero to fail. Instead, Hercules dug massive trenches, rerouting 2 nearby rivers to flow through the stables until they were spotless. Next came 3 more beastly foes, each requiring a clever strategy to defeat. The carnivorous Stymphalian birds nested in an impenetrable swamp, but Hercules used Athena's special rattle to frighten them into the air, at which point he shot them down. No mortal could stand before the Cretan bull's mad rampage, but a chokehold from behind did the trick. And the mad king Diomedes, who had trained his horses to devour his guests, got a taste of his own medicine when Hercules wrestled him into his own stables. The ensuing feast calmed the beasts enough for Hercules to bind their mouths. But the 9th labor involved someone more dangerous than any beast, Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. Hercules was to retrieve the belt given to her by her father, Ares, the god of war. He sailed to the Amazon land of Themyscira, prepared for battle. But the queen was so impressed with the hero and his exploits that she gave the belt willingly. For his 10th labor, Hercules had to steal a herd of magical red cattle from Geryon, a giant with 3 heads and 3 bodies. On his way, Hercules was so annoyed by the Libyan desert heat that he shot an arrow at the sun. The sun god, Helios, admired the hero's strength and lent his chariot for the journey to the island of Erythea. There, Hercules fought off Geryon's herdsman and his 2-headed dog before killing the giant himself. That should have been the end, but Eurystheus announced that 2 labors hadn't counted: the Hydra, because Iolaus had helped Hercules kill it, and the stables, because he'd accepted payment. And so the hero set about his 11th task, obtaining golden apples from the garden of the Hesperides nymphs. Hercules began by catching the old man of the sea and holding the shape-shifting water god until he revealed the garden's location. Once there, the hero found the Titan, Atlas, holding up the heavens. Hercules offered to take his place if Atlas would retrieve the apples. Atlas eagerly complied, but Hercules then tricked him into trading places again, escaping with apples in hand. The 12th and final task was to bring back Cerberus, the 3-headed hound guarding the underworld. Helped by Hermes and Athena, Hercules descended and met Hades himself. The Lord of the Dead allowed Hercules to take the beast if he could do it without weapons, which he achieved by grabbing all 3 of his heads at once. When he presented the hound to a horrified Eurystheus, the king finally declared the hero's service complete. After 12 years of toil, Hercules had redeemed the tragic deaths of his family and earned a place in the divine pantheon. But his victory held an even deeper importance. In overcoming the chaotic and monstrous forces of the world, the hero swept away what remained of the Titan's primordial order, reshaping it into one where humanity could thrive. Through his labors, Hercules tamed the world's madness by atoning for his own.
Okay guys, now that you have watched the video, and I hope you enjoyed it, I will tell you what you need to do to enter the competition. So you have to imagine this question: what if Hercules was to complete a 13th task? that's where you come in. Okay, so for the competition, we want as many of you as possible to get into the myth-making mindset and come up with a fabulous new labour for the hero Hercules. Okay, so would it be an epic monster battle like Hercules' defeat of the Hydra? Or would it be a test of cunning like tricking Atlas to help him to get hold of the golden apples? Or something else entirely? Remember, these labours were supposed to be impossible for regular people like us. So how do you enter the competition? So there are 3 categories. In fact, you can be younger even, but obviously we're a secondary school. But if you have any siblings that would like to enter, you can advertise it to them as well. So there's category 1 for 5 to 7 years old, up to 300 words. Category 2, 8 to 11, up to 500. And then I think most of you will fall actually into the 3rd category, which is 12 to 14-year-old. And you have to write up to, you can write up to 750 words. Okay, you are welcome to illustrate your story, but they will judge your myths based on how creative, original, and entertaining they are. Okay, and the prizes, as I said, will be book tokens. Important, the deadline is on Sunday, the 21st of June, so you don't have too much time to come up with your story. The winner will be announced via Twitter, and also you will get an email if you win. Okay, so to enter, write up your story on a computer and save it as a Word document or a PDF, or you can write it out by hand, scan it into your computer, or take a photo. And then you have to upload it at that link, which I will also put below the assembly. Okay, entries are limited to 1 child and 1 per child, sorry, and they are completely free. If you are typing it up on Word, at the bottom of your Word document, you should see a number, which is your word count. Okay, so please make sure that you don't exceed 750 words. And here are your useful links. That's the link for the competition, the link where to submit your story, and also, as a bit of an extension, there's a full TED educational lesson on Hercules' labours at this link. All of these links will be available below the assembly. Please do let me know if you are entering and if you win as well. I thought it would be something fun for you to do while we're still in lockdown. Okay, good luck, guys.